as I've talked about it earlier in the opening and virtually every video for the last week, it's just been an absolutely fantastic week here at the sale and racing at Lexington and watching our horses race all around. I mean, sure, every day it could always be better. Hard to this week, but it could always be better. Just so happy with the way things went across the board in the week of Lexington, and absolutely the Lexington sale itself. Now, a lot of people asking what are the buckets going to look like, who's in what bucket, and a lot of Ontario people calling me and messaging me and emailing me saying, Anthony, where are the Ontario breds going to land, and what are your thoughts? Now, the easiest way to take care of this is simply just make an Ontario bucket. You just say those three horses that I know, honey. Those three horses that we have from Ontario, the Resolve and the two Muscle Masses, they're going to go in their own bucket, and it'll give us a head start to the Ontario sale. Depending on what happens at the Ontario sale, these three horses will be front and center for our Ontario jurisdiction next year. Three very, very good pickups. One was, what I would consider a puzzle piece for our stable, meaning this is a horse that fit well. This is below what I thought she was worth. We picked her up, and now we're going to bring her back home, and that was the Resolve filly. The two Muscle Masses, I still can't wrap my head around how they ended up going for what they went for. I thought they'd go for a lot more. And for us to be able to pick them up for what we did, I think was pretty fortunate. So we're going to start off the Ontario jurisdiction with a bang, so to speak, with our two Muscle Massive colts and a Resolve filly going into that Ontario bucket. And I know we already have 25% of that bucket spoken for, so that also is a good start. So tomorrow morning I'll instruct Wendy and ask Eric if they can put those buckets up for sale. Put those buckets up for everybody to see. Front and center will be the start of Ontario with an Ontario bucket that will hold it's $94,000 is what it costs total US dollars, and they will hold the three Ontario horses. Now, the rest of the buckets, obviously I made it very clear that our premium horse was going to be Melisandre. I think that was a slam dunk and a very, very easy purchase to make for us in that filly. Man, she just looks like a knockout, and exactly what we were looking for in regards to that premium type horse. That is what we were looking for, and we got every bit of her. So Melisandre is our premium type horse. The bucket A, I thought made the most sense to put Grand Slam Dio in there. That was my top pick in the entire sale. A horse that I thought might even go more than the premium type horse. It may end up in her own type of category. I didn't have to worry about that. She ended up going for $100,000. We were very lucky to purchase her, and she found her way into the premium A bucket. The premium A bucket, the second horse will be Memento Mori. This is a Kierkegaard K full brother, another horse that I thought was he went for less than what we thought he would go. It was circumstances and timing surrounding this horse, and after speaking to the breeder, who happened to be the underbidder, I can assure you that they too thought he would go for a lot more. So Memento Mori is also in bucket number A. Yves St. Kemp, a Walner colt, one of those horses that just kind of crept up on us, who I thought was worth a lot more than what he went for. Ended up being, I guess, one of those kind of, as I like to say at the sale, the puzzle piece type horses, but really should have been quite a bit more. I thought first foal from a mare of a world champion and a $1 million winner in Wild Honey. I just thought that this was the easiest type of purchase for us. Southwind Idex, a very, very interesting colt. Again, went for less than what I thought he would. I believe just having the New Jersey jurisdiction on him maybe slowed that price down a little bit, which I'm very, very happy with. If you look at his video, I would defy anybody to go through the entire sale catalog, maybe the entire season, and find me a better video than the one of Southwind Idex. I just thought the horse was amazing. And then we just fit Rosetta on the bottom end of that bucket also. And this is another filly that I just thought was, this is Green Tea's sister. Pretty easy pickup there at $27,000. Again, we have 2 Walners that we picked up, and both of them were under $30,000. Pretty amazing pickups, I think, on both of them. Now, again, none of that matters because they still have to train down and get to the races and do well. But from a starting point, vantage point, I think we did pretty good with these 2. So those 5 horses come in at exactly $300,000, exactly. And I believe that's exactly where we were supposed to be when it comes to when it came to that bucket A. Now, I will have Eric work out the prices, and if they come in a little bit light, then there'll be credits awarded to your account. Neither of them come in heavy, I believe. So that worked out well in that regard. Now, bucket B, another very, very interesting bucket. A lot of the horses that I wanted were in this bucket also. Westland Warrior, I thought, was one of, all things considered, and this was Steve paying attention also, because I was going to let him go. I wasn't really paying attention to Westland Warrior, and if it wasn't for him, he wouldn't have been ours. And I'm glad that he was paying attention, because at $42,000, his father, Patrick Colt, just an amazing looking horse. And again, you're going to see all these horses. Don't take my word. Always a great looking horses. Of course they are. We bought them in Lexington. They were our picks out of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of horses and videos we saw, and in on-site inspections. These were our horses, so of course they look great. Westland Warrior, I just thought was an easy pickup. A couple of puzzle piece horses in here. Green Glitter, I love this filly. I love her gait. I love her attitude. I like the way she looks. Her pedigree was a little bit lighter, somewhat. Her mother obviously was a very, very good mare. Everything underneath there was okay, but her herself, as far as the build of the horses that we were looking for, was right down Main Street. This was exactly what we were looking for, and Green Glitter was a pretty easy pickup for $23,000. My top pick of day 3 and one of my top picks of the entire sale is in this bucket in Gymboree. This is a Chimpanzee filly. I wanted to make sure that everybody got a little something. This is the Chimpanzee filly that I absolutely loved. I thought you would bring a lot more, and I mean a lot more than $45,000. And when you look at her pedigree, you can't be unhappy with this horse in the least. She is just a beautiful, beautiful filly. So Gymboree is into bucket B. See how I made that? All right. See how I did that?
Yeah.
Manhattan Money, another one of those type of puzzle piece horses. But man, this guy had to be. I just think he had to be worth more than 21. A lot went into that price point for us. From a good starting point. You look at his family, you look at his look, his video, just the way he's built. I just find it really, really hard to believe that he wasn't worth a lot more than 21, and it was an easy type of purchase for us. Again, we need some of those horses that are going to fill up what we're looking to do, and definitely Manhattan Money does that. One of my flyer pick of the entire sale is in bucket B also. Amy was she was cooling on her. She didn't like her, and I think it was the fact that I had bought her with her pedigree page the way it was. Nobody knew what it was. It's all European stuff. There was a lot of white page there, to be honest. But I bought the filly. We had not bought the Tactical Landing at all in the sale, and that was the only one we did buy. And I just thought she was a really interesting prospect. And, as I said to Amy, how can I take a horse seriously, look at it, price it, come, watch it walk around the back ring, know that I like it, watch it win the ring, and not buy it for $6,000. I don't know why she brought $6,000. I can't really tell you, but a flyer, I guess, is where she's going to fit into bucket B. But at the same token, man, what a nice filly this is. I can't wait to show these horses to you guys, and I will very, very soon. And then the last horse was a horse that completely blindsided me from when I saw her in the back ring. Amy had looked at her, asked if we wanted to take her out. And I said no, because her pedigree just kind of looked okay, and I knew that if we were going to buy any horses on day 5, they had to jump out at us and scream value. You should purchase this horse. This is a horse you need to have. And I just didn't see that on that pedigree. But when I saw this filly in the back ring coming up to the sale, I had to stop. I went out to look at one horse and immediately turned my attention to her. I didn't mind that horse I was looking at, but it was not for us. That one is. I needed to know who it was. I went back in and she said, I asked you if you wanted me to pull this filly out. And you said no. So I looked at her pedigree and I missed the top end of it. First foal from a mare who took a 2-year-old mark of 51 and won and made $250,000. I missed that. I didn't miss this filly. I can tell you that. What a knockout she is. And again, probably was my last bid. Although I could have easily made an argument to pay more for her. Probably was my last bid, but what a beautiful, beautiful, again, just wait until you see her. Really, really impressed with the purchase of Foxy Seaside. So there you have it. We are going to have an Ontario bucket. It's close. It's those 3 horses. You get to see, you don't always get to do this, and I can't do it this way, but in this particular instance I can. You are going to have an Ontario bucket. It is already 25% sold out. I hope all of you in Ontario that are asking about Ontario breds understand how much those 2 muscle masses would have brought in that sale in London that's coming up. I can guarantee you it's a lot more than what we paid for them. So 2 beautiful muscle mass colts and a really, really nice resolve filly are going to fit into that Ontario bucket. And I hope everybody will move forward with buying that up. It speaks volumes to the London sale if we don't. So the Ontario bucket will be up on Monday morning for everybody. As I said, really happy with what I've seen here from those 3 Ontario breds. I just told you who was in bucket A, bucket B. Now Pelican Owl, I found it really difficult to not buy Pelican Owl. So we did purchase the brother to Charlie May. I put all the shares up for sale today because I thought that this horse should be a stable.ca horse. This should be our horse. At that price, most definitely, but I didn't have room in the buckets. So before I started panicking and calling people and, hey, do you want to buy a piece of this? I'm not saying a word. I'm going to let you guys figure it out. I sent you all a big email last night, talked about this particular colt, how he's Charlie May's brother and how I think he says he screams stable. And as I looked about 5 minutes ago, there's only 23 shares remaining, so I appreciate everybody helping out. In the spirit of helping out, we still do have some shares left of hip number 25, Captain Incredible. I do want to get this guy taken care of the rest of the week, and I am going to start picking up the phone and calling people because I do want to get Captain Incredible sold out. I think he is an incredible colt. I think I know he's the most expensive horse we've ever paid for, but he is just an Adonis of an animal, and I cannot wait to get him into the harness on Monday morning. So with that, those are the buckets all explained for you. We now have an Ontario bucket, and it's got a starting point of 25% sold out. It was those horses cost $94,000 American. They are going over to Canada, so we're going to have to pay taxes on those. I would imagine Wendy will work all that out to you and get it out to you starting Monday morning. But a great start for a jurisdiction of Ontario this year with these 3 acquisitions. I talked about bucket A, bucket B. We talked about Pelican Owl getting close to being sold out, and I talked also about Captain Incredible and how lucky we are to have him. I'm just super thrilled about the sale, very humbled by everybody's participation and confidence in what we do. So thank you all very much. Again, as I always want to point out, without all of you, none of this is possible. For the people that came out to the sale, thank you for coming out. Next year, we're going to try and have a big turnout at the Lexington sale. For the people that came to the races and watched us win with Pickpocket, not just on Friday, but last Thursday. Thank you all. And for everybody out there that does work for the stable, thank you all for your diligent work. It clearly is paying off on the track.